Hi everyone, we will begin with PEMDAS rule. So why PEMDAS is important is, let's say if we have to solve something like this, the basic operations, you know, let's say if we have to solve 5 plus 4 divided by 2. Now there are two ways of solving this. Either you take plus first and solve it, or you solve the division first and then add later. So let us see both the ways. Now, if I add first, what happens? I get 5 plus 4 is 9 divided by 2, right? Now, the other way is if I divide first and then add later. So we'll see, do we really get the same answer or not? So 5 plus 4 divided by 2 is nothing but 5 plus 2, which is 7, right? So which method is correct, or which is the correct order of operations? And one of this is true and the other is wrong for sure. So to help this kind of operations, we need PEMDAS. Okay, what is PEMDAS? PEMDAS gives us in which order you have to solve the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, right? That includes parenthesis also. That's what P stands for. So P stands for parenthesis, which is either a bracket which is closed or the curly brackets. Okay, so this will always get the first preference. That means wherever you see parenthesis, you'll have to solve parenthesis first. Then the next importance will go to exponents. Now we all know what is exponent. Exponent is something like, let's say, 10 square or 6 cube or any number which is of the form a power n. A and n are integers, let's say. This is the second preference, which is exponents. Then comes your multiplication or division, right? Now here, important thing to remember is M or D, multiplication and division, they have the same importance, right? They have equal importance. So how do you decide which one to do first? You will have to start from left to right. Okay, start from left to right. Whichever comes in the left, you solve that first and move on. So parenthesis, exponents, multiplication or division, and finally addition or subtraction, right? Again, the same thing, they have equal importance and you will always start solving from left to right. Okay, we'll see few examples on this. So initially you can make this PEMDAS. Parenthesis is there, so you'll always solve for parenthesis. So 4 parenthesis 5 minus 1, which is multiplication only. Let me write everything else as is. So parenthesis is done, there is no exponent. So next we'll go to multiplication or division. So 4 into 4, this is 16, plus 2 into 3. So we'll solve for this, which is 6, and divide by 6. So we know that 6 divided by 6 is 1. As you can see, multiplication and division are also done. We are left with addition in this question. So the answer is going to be 17. P, parenthesis, exponents, multiplication, division, and addition or subtraction. So we'll solve one more question. So let us write P, E, M, D, and AS. Parenthesis will solve first, keeping everything the same. Divide by 9. P is done. Then exponent we can see. So let us solve for exponent. Exponent is done. Then we can see multiplication and division. We'll solve these things first. So multiplication is 54. Division, divide by 9. Okay. So now we can cancel this. Goes in the 9 table 6 times. So multiplication and division is done. So we are left with addition and subtraction, subtraction here. So the answer is 1. So once you understand this order of operations, it becomes quite comfortable. Now, one last question. If you want, you guys can pause this video and try to solve this. Okay, so let us start. There is no parenthesis, so we'll take this. This is done. Next, we have exponent. So we'll solve for exponent. This is 25, 5 square. So exponent is done. So we can see multiplications and divisions. So there are two ways. Either I can say this is 24 directly, or I can just keep 3 into 8 and divide by 4 into 6 plus 100 divided by 25. I mean, this is 24 and 24. This gets cancelled once. And 125 both cancels in 5 table. Still they will get cancelled. So this is done, multiplication and division. So I'm left with the addition, right? Which is 1 plus 4, 5. So this is how you can solve any kind of logical operations in the order of preference. Now we'll see how we'll solve or add or subtract, basically, especially the variables, right? Now to add or subtract the variables, you need to find out, identify the similar terms or the like terms. Okay. Now what are similar or like terms? Important, their variables, okay, they have to be same. Like in this example, you see this expression, there are 4 terms, 2x square, 2x, 3x square, 5x and 4x square. As you can see, the similar terms are 2x and 5x. Why? The variable has to be same, x and x, which is basically we're talking of x power 1 and x power 1. Those two are similar terms. Okay, any terms which has the same variable can be considered as, is considered as a similar term. Of course, the quotients can be different. What is the quotient? The number in front of the variable is the quotient. For example, 2 is the quotient here and negative 5 is the quotient here. That doesn't matter. What matters is the variable is the same. Okay, if the variable, or if you find out similar terms, make sure you can add or subtract them normally. The same if you see x square and x square, the variables are same, so we can consider them as similar terms. The quotients are 3 and 4. Okay. Similarly, you can pause the video and try to find out or identify the similar terms. Okay, so we'll concentrate only on the variables, right? I can see variable xy square, and is there anything else? Yes, xy square. So I'll say 3xy square and negative 7xy square are similar. And x square and x square. So for x square and 4x square, these two are similar terms. So in any algebraic expression, right, you identify similar terms first and then you can add or subtract, or you can take something as common or factorize. We'll see that in the next slides. Okay, simplify. So as we discussed, identify the similar terms first. Negative xy, negative 7xy, 2x and 4x. So something like this, and 2x plus 4x. Now I can take xy common from this. So what am I left with? I'm left with, if there is no quotient, we assume the quotient as 1. Most of you would be knowing this already. Now over here, what is common? You can see I can take either x common or I can take directly 2x common. So 1 plus 2 remains. If you're not comfortable, just take x common, you're left with 2 plus 4. Either ways, you should get the same answer. So xy into negative 8 plus 2x multiplied by 3. Yeah, so we get negative xy plus 6x. The option can be either like this, or what they will do is they will further take the common terms. As you can see, there is a common term which is x, and there is a common constant which is 2. Both are even, so I can take a 2 common. Now what remains? From negative 8xy, y remains, and from 8, if we remove 2, you have a 4 remaining. So negative 4y. From 6x, you have 3 remaining. A 2 and an x is going out, so 3 remains. So either this format or the second format. One of this can be given in the answers. Okay, I hope this is clear. We can solve for one more question, or yeah.